Welcome back to the Lonely Basement. Baseball cards. You know, guys, there's been a lot of videos this weekend about Strongsville. And what you're not hear on those videos are the tales of the weekend. The tales about the deaf bowlers convention we shared a hotel with all weekend. The discussions between YouTubers about the benefits of dating a deaf woman versus one who can hear you. But you will not hear about those tales here either. What happens in Strongsville stays in Strongsville, except the baseball cards. They come with us. And I am sitting in front of a giant pile of baseball cards, guys. I had a great weekend. It was amazing. You can't talk enough about the community and how great people are. It was a great time. It was amazing. Trade night was amazing. The show was amazing. The people are amazing. And let's get into it. I don't know if I can do this in one video. And I did not get this recorded until Monday. So I may have to split this in two. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start. And if I feel like it's too long, I will stop. So let's start with our gifts. Gifts, guys. I can't talk about it enough, but I can. But I can't talk about how many people came up to me and said, oh, I know you from somewhere. It was like three. It was like three people. But it was nice. There were a couple guys came up to me and shouted me out, appreciated the channel, and it was amazing. There were some great people there. The YouTubers are amazing. The most welcoming people. Everybody had a great time. It was just great. Hotel, fine. No issues. Hotel was fine. That's all I'll say about that. One elevator was down, but there was multiple elevators, but one was down. But I was on the first floor. I actually showed up early Thursday. Steven with the PH was right in front of me, in line to check in, and they asked him, where would you like to stay? What floor? And he said, the first floor? And the guy's like, okay. And he put him in the first floor. So I was next. And Rob from Cash Cards, who I met in the parking lot, great guy, Rob. Love Rob. Great guy. Rob from Cash Cards was right behind me, and we're like, oh. So I walked up. What floor would you like? I said, 1, please. No elevators. And we were all just kind of lined up. Each room was just kind of checking down the line. So we did not deal with elevators. Now, if you were in a suite on the 6th floor, because you have the scarole for the suite, you did deal with elevators. But gifts, guys, I'm going to forget names. I'm going to forget something, and I'm going to forget to shout out somebody, and I apologize in advance, like everybody likes to do, but it was too much to remember everything. I should have wrote some stuff down. Vintage Dave T, I believe, gave me these cards. Beautiful Thurman. Met Dave. We took a ride to a restaurant together. We had a nice chat. Great to meet Dave. Little Bobby Richardson action. There you go. I believe those were from Dave. I don't want to lie, because I might forget or misremember something. We didn't pick up. We were given a Reggie Jackson OPG. Reggie Jackson OPG. I believe this came from James Gillum. James, great weekend with James. Great Yankee collector. We walked the show together. We bought some cards together. Love James. James is amazing. This is a beautiful Reggie OPG. What else did we get? We got these two. Bobby Mercers. I believe these... I'm forgetting already, and I remembered before. I believe these also came from James. I believe these also came from James. All right, guys. Jason. Everyday card collector Jason. Some beautiful gifts. We were due a Bill Mazeroski. Why did I win a Bill Mazeroski? We were due this beautiful Bill Mazeroski from Jason's contest, which we won, and Jason did not disappoint by throwing some Yankee cards in the bag for me. Beautiful, Topps Finest. We got the Babe in the car. We got a JD, Jason Dominguez. We got a beautiful Mattingly Record Setters from 1988. A Phil Rizzuto. That is a cool card. That is an archive on the 65 Topps. An 87 Donruss Don Mattingly. It is beautiful. It is sharp. And an 89 Donruss Don Mattingly, which is also beautiful and sharp. What else did we get? Oh my goodness. This was given to me on trade night by 2 people. I cannot tell a lie. Warren had a big pile of these that he gave 2 to me. And these are Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes, intact. I do have this card individually cut, I believe. But these are full panels. Donnie was with UB Brooks and Mike Scott on 2 different boxes. And these were from Warren. Stephen with a PH also came and gave me 2 boxes of these from Warren's pile. And I'm not going to lie. Don't tell anyone. Jason said to me, those are super cool. And I said, Jason, I just got 2 from Warren. I'm gifting these to you. 2 were gifted to me. I feel I could give them to Jason. And I believe that's right. What else did we get? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You want some cards? Let's see. Rocket Rick. He will come up later in the video. 1 of 1. Greg Miller Strongsville card. The Pirate card. A few of my favorite things from Howard Chasser. Howard is a trade night. Love the game auctions. Dan Wallach. The 4 collectors card we got from trade night. There they are. The 5 of them on the 4 collectors. And Mr. James Gillum, the great commenter himself. There's his 52 tops. These are cool. Tops should still make these. I might buy one. I might make one if they still made them. I think I just gave James info away, but James was handing these out to everybody, so I don't think he'll mind. Oops. Steven with a PH. His Orioles. There's a Steven with a PH sticker. Joe Wood collector. That is cool. Like and subscribe to Joe Wood. Rob from Cash Cards with a sticker. Peacemaker with a sticker. Dave, great guy Dave. Love meeting him in person. And Warren D in the CLE. Warren was active all weekend. Great job, Warren. Hanging out all weekend. Nope, hold on. Warren, this is from Warren's box of goodies. He gave me a Baseball Weekly with Babe Ruth on the cover. This pile keeps going, guys. It keeps going. Trade night. I was gifted this beautiful Babe photo from Mookie Chilson. There's the Babe. There's the ball. And there's Babe. Come on, Babe. Babe did not hit that one. Wait for it. Warren gave me this Mark Teixeira bobblehead. I still have it in a box. I'm not going to rip it out right now. But it will go in a place of glory with my other bobbleheads. Mark Teixeira, New York Yankee bobblehead from PC Richards. If you know, you know. Thank you, Warren. Last but not least, and I feel terrible about this because Jim Faulkner, as I drop the card and I'll pick it up, also showed one of these. And this is a beautiful gift. This is a Thurman Munson glove, Pepsi glove. It's an amazing gift. And I forgot your name. You know who you are, and I forgot your name. So please comment. Remind me who you are, because I forgot your first name. And I want to say what it is, but if I'm wrong, then I'm going to feel terrible. But this was a great gift, and we hung out a lot over the weekend. He was at trade night with his dad. We did some wheeling and dealing, and we walked the show together, and I forgot his name, and I feel terrible. Hit me up in the comments. Ladies and gentlemen, Mookie Chilson at trade night gifted me this giant stack of 79 tops with pinholes. Look at those. Authentic. Authentic. Now, the rumor has it from Mookie Chilson. Look at that Thurman. Beautiful. That looks like a staple. Rumor has it that as he was gifting these to me just before, Greg Miller stole the Greg Nettles out of the pack. Come on, Greg. Come on. I'll let it go. I'll let it go this time. That was a great gift from Mookie. Trade night was amazing. What did we do at trade night? Let's go. We got our 90 score pack, still sealed, from trade night. Scott from Reindeer Studios was there. We picked up a beautiful Blondie Gum shirt, which is not in my hand, so I'll move on, but it is beautiful. And Scott and Mrs. Reindeer were there, and I picked up the Thurman 28 of 50. Beautiful. And out of the machine, we pulled a Dante Bichette. or excuse me, what's the other, Boba. And we made a deal. We gave that to Rob from Cash Cards because Rob from Cash Cards is a Bichette collector. And then Jay, the average vintage collector. Jay, average vintage, gifted me this beautiful Roger Maris. Scott had the card machine out, and it was a great time. Now, Sammy Thunder was wheeling and dealing. We picked up a Bobby Cox 69 rookie, which we needed for our team set, and it is beautiful, crispy, sharp as hell, beautiful Bobby Cox 69 Topps rookie cup. And finally, Stephen with a PH. We made a deal with Stephen with a PH. He brought with him a 1984 OPG in an 8 number. If you care for such things, OPG Don Mattingly rookie sticker. And Tom Tellman. Good old Tom. Beautiful. We picked that up from Stephen in a little deal we made. And that is an amazing sticker. To the show. What did we get? Let's go, guys. We're moving fast. We might make it all the way through. Brett, my guy Brett. Great dealer from Matt Kisco, and Brett was there buying. And we know Brett from New York, so we saw Brett. And we have mentioned before that Brett had a big pile of 77 Burger King cards, which we purchased several from Brett in multiple trips to Mount Kisco. And I mentioned to him about the Lou Piniella, and I said, but I got to find it, in a box somewhere. And him and Dan's Vintage Baseball PC set me up, and Brett pushed a big pile of cards at me. He's like, hey, you want anything that's in here? And it was a bunch of Burger Kings, and I was flipping through. I was like, I bought all these already from you. And what was sitting in the middle? A Lou Piniella short print. We made a deal. It did not cost $3. Me and Brett made a deal for this one. And Brett, thank you. You are the man. Love hanging out with Brett. We had a great time. We met at breakfast. We walked the show a little bit. We hung out at night. Beautiful Lou Piniella. Very nice condition. Short print. We got a good deal. I promise. All right. Now, to the show. Real quick. We bought a lot of big cards, guys. And we bought a lot of really, really little cards. If you've been a fan of the show for a while, you know of my quest to complete the Cubs floating heads cards. And that I had 278s, and I counted, and there was a double, and I counted, and I said, I have them all. And I realized I did not have an 81 Topps Cubs floating heads card, which needed to be found in a random bargain box somewhere in the world. We have completed the run. 81 Topps Cubs floating heads card. The floating heads set is complete. We officially have them all. And that quest is over. On to the next quest. Now, speaking of quests, before we get into some Yankees, I found the most amazing thing in the world. As soon as I entered the show, I wandered around quickly, and I saw a guy who had 80s value boxes of sets in order. Traded, Topps traded, Donruss, Fleer, 80s. And as you know, as I've mentioned, my 86 Topps hand-collated childhood set was not complete. I fell 21 cards short of my quest as the football cards appeared on the shelf at the country store and the baseball cards disappeared, leaving me 21 cards short. The cards sat in my closet at my mother's house for like 35 years until I rescued them and found my checklist and wrote the checklist in my trusty book. Trusty. Well, this guy had 86 Topps, 10 cents a piece, basically the whole set, lined up in a value box, and I went through and I picked. I won't go through each card. 21 cards I needed. 20 cards he had. I am still one card short of the 86 Topps set that I must find somewhere out in the wild. One card. Dang. But I am one card away from completing a set I've been trying to build since 1986. There's a Pete Vukovich. This gentleman, I bought all of these from. I will quickly fly through what we have. 79s, Gosh's Dent Catfish. Have all these. These were all upgrades to beater cards from my childhood collection that were holding places, and that is complete. 79 and upgraded complete. There you go. Now, this is a hot mess over here, guys, so get ready for it. These are some 83 tops. Leaders cards, he had 83 tops. Like I said, he had 81, 82, 83, 84. I've never seen anybody with those years like that. So a couple leaders cards that we need for 83. 83 Donnie Baylor traded, which we did not have. We went through all his traded boxes. We went through all the sets, and we just basically pulled every Yankee card out. What did we get? Let's see. Yeah, I know. We picked up another one of these. Now we have a pile of them. Can't help it. The 2 for the title card. Could not help it. Did not have this one. The 86 Fleer Ricky All-Star. Couple 81 tops. Larry Milburn, Jerry Mumphrey, Gene Nelson, which was the centerpiece to completing the 81 top set, team set, and Dave Revering. We needed the Dave Revering. 82s. Let's see. Here we go. John Mabry. Need that card. Need that card. Let's go quicker. A Butch Weiniger. Beautiful Butch. A little Shane Raleigh. 82 tops in the books. We picked up these 85 tops traded cards from the traded set. Ron Hassey, Del Berra, and Ed Whitson. Ed Whitson. If you know about Ed Whitson, you know. In his 86 traded set, he had these two, Claude Washington, Gary Renicky. Those will fill out the 86. We're not done yet, though. We had 87 tops traded. So we picked up all the 87 tops traded Yankees and nailed that down. This is the first purchases of the week. This is the first thing I did, was buy these cards. I spent like an hour in this guy's boxes. Some 83 tradeds and some 83 base, which we needed to complete the 83 base set. And there's a Nettles, which did complete the 83 base set. Boom. Couple 84s. George Frazier we needed. We needed this beautiful card, although we may have it, but I couldn't tell. So I was just grabbing everything. Donnie Baylor, Ronnie Guidry. I was fired up when I found them. We needed the Andre Robertson. And we may need this. Bergkamp and Harris. Omar Marino. Career stolen base leaders. I believe I don't have that either. Believe it or not, I did not have an 85 tops Dave Winfield. He had one of those in that box. We picked that up. 85 Rick Cerrone. 85 Mike Pellirulo. Then we found this. He had an entire, basically, set of 85 Fleer. I have not checklisted these, but we bought all the 84 Fleer Yankees, all the commons for the 84 Fleer team set. Beautiful. We're hauling, guys. And the 85 Fleer Yankees, which is basically got to be the team set. I mean, we have the Mattingly, obviously, but this is got to be close to the whole team set of 85 Fleer Yankees. Boom. Last but not least, not to be outdone, we hit the 85 Donruss, which we do not have very many 85 Donruss. Johnny Monofusco. And we have the 85 Donruss. If it's not complete, there's a Rigetti. If it's not complete, it's pretty darn near complete. There's a Willie. I think we just picked that up, actually. Autoed. Donnie Baylor. Scott Bradley, rookie card. Oh, we missed some. Because they're sleeved. These were sleeved for whatever reason. They were more expensive. The Winfield, Guidry, Jose Rijo, and Phil Necro. These were quarters. They were a quarter. And this guy did a great job. He took the stack. He took a while to... I won't get into it. I don't know. He made me wait like 10 minutes to count the stack up because he took my stack and then other people started coming up. I'll get into it. And they started like wheeling and dealing with him. And he's like doing deals with like 5 people. And I'm still waiting and my stack is just sitting there. I'm like, dude, it's like $20-something worth of cards. Just give me a number. Let's go. Let's go. I'm in Strongsville. I need to shop. 85 Donruss. Lou Gehrig, puzzle card. And Jose Rijo, 85 Donruss. Rookie. Hit me up for that when I was in a sleeve. So that was, nope, I lied. That was not that dealer. That dealer also had 75 Fleer minis, or Topps minis. We bought basically the team set minus the Thurman, which we have already, the team card, which we have already, and we were missing the Bobby Bonds, which he did not have. Dickie Tidrow, there's the Pinella, these are all the minis. Mel Stottlemyre, Craig Nettles, Jim Mason, Elliot Maddox, Gene Nelson again, Ron Bloomberg, the first DH of all time, and a Pat Dobson. He had the whole run of these in the box. I went through, grabbed all the Yankees because I do not have a lot of minis, and I checklisted it later, and I'm missing like 3 cards. The Bobby Bonds, an outfield rookie stars, or rookie stars, and one other common guy, which we will have to search for. He had some 71 Topps. He did, I swear. 71 Topps. Love the Ron Woods. Always loved this card. That's a great card. 71 Topps Ron Woods. Danny Carter. Oop. Frank Baker. Not Home Run Baker. You can tell. Look at his face. That's not Home Run Baker. We got a Bill Burbeck. Looking at it backwards doesn't help. High number. A couple of high numbers. High numbers cost more, guys. And the Rob Gardner. No hat. Airbrushing situation. And a beautiful Horace Clark. High number. $8. But like I said, we got a deal on all these. We had these cards in a deal. He lumped it all together. Actually, those 71s came from Binder Guard, didn't they? I'm lying. I'm going so fast, I'm lying. Look at that. Beautiful. 60 Topps. This is the same guy bought these on Sunday, but it's the same dealer. We needed it. I can't see. It doesn't matter. Art Ditmar. 60 ERA leaders. 61 Hector Lopez. We're flying, guys. I'm not doing 2 videos. 1 Bill Stafford, 60. 1 Topps. A beautiful somebody. Johnny Blanchard, actually. Johnny Blanchard. Ralph Terry. That's a great card. Ralph looking tough in that card. Duke Moss. No relation to Kevin. We picked up a Ralph Terry, 62. Green tint. We got the green tint, babe, and Miller Huggins. I have a blue tint. I wanted the green tint. He had the green tint in the box of 62s. Had to have it. Green tint. Love the green tint. Mr. Roland Sheldon for the 62s. Bob Serve. I know. We're getting there. Hal Reniff. 70 Horace Clark. Mike Kekic. We bought a lot of Mike Kekics this year. Ronnie Woods is 70 after a 71. Johnny Ellis and Jim Little. Lindy McDaniel, 1970. And Jake Acker bringing up the rear, 1971. The table is crazy, guys. So that is our team building exercise for the weekend at Strongsville. Now, I'll just show you some things quickly. 83 Topps is not complete, but 82 Topps completed. 81 Topps completed. That was already completed. We are basically minus a handful of cards at 72 Topps. We have a handful of 71s. And, by the way, 1970 Topps was completed this weekend. Beautiful. Checking off team cards. Forgot something. Let's go backwards. At Friday evenings, sitting around talking event at the bar. I was gifted this from the mayor of Strongsville, Chris from Missouri. Thank you, Chris. How do I look? More of a backwards guy. I now have this from Chris from Missouri. It will go in a place of glory in the basement. I just have to find out where. Hello. All right. All right, guys. We're speeding through, but we're at the plastic. So, what do we buy? We did not buy a Mickey Mantle card. We did not. No Mickey Mantles. I know that may sound surprising to you, but we did not pick up a Mickey Mantle card. I'll tell you the stories of the cards we did pick up. Let's start here. This card just spoke to me. It jumped out of the case. I do not have a lot of this player. I need most of his run, and it's time to start buying some. We bought a Yogi Berra, 55 tops, in a 5, if you care of such things. It was beautiful. It's got great color. It just jumped out of the case for me. It was at Mike Payne's. This is one of the first cards I bought besides the team building cards. Not that this is not for a team set, but it is a beautiful 55 Yogi Berra. Next up, we picked up this card. Now, I went to my friend of yours, Phil Marks, and I took a picture of this card, and I said, can you do me a favor and take a look at this? And he was very gracious, and he looked at the auto, and he said, yeah, you're good. And he gave me kind of a price point, and I actually got it below that price point. So thank you to Phil for all the help on this one. We picked this up from an autograph dealer. He had a lot of autographs, books, and signed things. But he did have a few, and I mean a few baseball cards. And this is a Billy Martin 1956 tops on-card auto. Beckett authentication. No grade on the card. Card's pretty good, though. I'd say it's probably VGEX in that ballpark. Probably in that ballpark. I don't see any creases. On-card auto, Billy Martin. Beautiful. Double authentication. Excellent. That is a beautiful card. I love Billy Martin. I love Billy Martin autos. And that might chill me on Billy Martin autos for a while. From Garrett, we picked this up. Garrett, I enjoyed meeting Garrett. I enjoyed shopping with Garrett. I enjoyed talking to him. We talked about a couple different cards and what we picked up from Garrett. This beautiful Phil Rizzuto in a 5, Drake's TV series, the baseball series. That is awesome. I've wanted this since the National. When I saw one at Bill Chappell's table, I passed up on it due to spending the funds other ways. And it's been haunting me since the National, 10 months now. And I wanted one. I've looked at a few, and they were not my Drake's Phil Rizzuto. This one is. So this is a beautiful card. I love this card. It is awesome, awesome, awesome. I love food issue cards. Now, we get to Sunday. I still have not picked up my big boy card. I have my money. I have several thoughts. And I was looking for a Red Heart or a Dandy. Dandy, I'll just tell you straight out, was kind of dry. It wasn't happening. They weren't there. What was there was kind of beat or not for me. And ironically, on Sunday, someone walked up to a table I was standing at and said, hey, you interested in this card? And it was a Dandy Mantle. And I was like, this is an epiphany, a light from heaven. God is going to give me this Dandy Mantle right here from a guy on the sales floor who was shopping it to dealers. And the dealers made an offer, and he said, hey, I could do this. But, you know, he's like, that's what everybody's saying. That's a Dandy Mantle. Can I see? It was just not mine. It was just, it had a big crease across the face, the whole bit. It was not the card for me. But for a split second, I was like, this is Provenance. It was not. But all right. So we pivoted. I looked for Red Hearts all weekend. I saw a few that some people picked up. And they were not mine. They were not the one for me. And I was kind of like, all right, it's over. We're not getting a Red Heart. We're not finding the Red Heart. Let's pivot. And on Sunday, I walk up to a table that was not set up. It was set up by a different dealer on Sunday. I know it sounds weird, but there was a guy sitting there who was not there on Friday and Saturday. So he must have took the table, you know, just for Sunday from the dealers. And he had a 4.5 really nice Red Heart Mantle sitting there. And I was like, there it is. So I took a peek. It was nice. It was nice. It was an old slab. It was 4.5. It was nice. I liked it. There was one little spot on it. Corners were decent. And but it was an old slab. And I was kind of like, I don't know if that's going to get a 4.5 if you sent it back in today. I think it's more going to get like a 4. But it was close. So I start talking money with him. And he says, yeah, I bought this last night at trade night. So I was at trade night, but I was hungry. So I went to get some food, and I came back at 6:30. Trade night started at 6. That card was not in that room at 6:30. So if I would have come back at 6, maybe I would have found it. Maybe I would have got a good deal. Because what he was selling it for was obviously cheaper than he got into it. He traded for it. He told me he traded into it. So I looked at that, but I was looking at another card all weekend. I was staring at it. It's not this. I'll go. I forgot one. This card I've wanted for quite a while also. The candy discs. These Baseball Stars candy discs, bubblegum. Thurman Munson. Look at the centering on that candy disc. It is in a, well, it is a 6. I didn't even look at the grade, guys. I swear to God, I just looked at the card. I did not look at this grade until just now. Oh, well. I bought this card based on the card. I got this from William Chappell. I always find it funny, and I mentioned this the other night and in the stream last night. Chappell's stacks have the better cards. I found my Mantle Bazooka. It was underneath. It was like the 3rd card in when I went through his stacks. Go through Chappell's stacks. Ask to see what he's got. This Munson was a better, more prominent candy lid than the 2 that were on top. And I was like, so I said, do you have a Munson? He's like, I think I might. I got the whole set here. And he went through and he's like, oh, here, I got this one. And it was beautifully centered for a candy lid. It was amazing. I snatched it right up. We made a good deal, but I wasn't letting that go. I bought it immediately. And I was thinking about this card and I didn't see the candy lids. And I found this on Sunday, like late in, like 11, 12 o'clock, I found this. And I don't know why I didn't ask to see what he had underneath. So there's that, my Munson candy lid. Now, still in the bag. We're going to take it out. I was staring at this card, and we're almost done. I was staring at this card for basically the whole weekend. I walked up to the card with Dan's vintage baseball PC at one point. He came over, and it was at Ash's table. Yeah, Ash. And I was looking at it. I said, what do you think? And he's like, well, what are you thinking about? I said, well, I was looking for a Dandy or a Red Heart, but this card keeps making me look at it. And he said to me, that's a cornerstone card for your PC. That's the kind of card that is a cornerstone. And I kind of took it in and I thought about it. It was on Saturday. And then I was looking at that Red Heart and I was literally, this guy was right across from Ash. So I was actually going back and forth. It was like, they probably thought I was crazy. I was just going back and forth between the 2 tables looking at the cards. And I came to a deal with Ash on the price. I got to where they would get on the price. And I got to where they would get on the Dandy price. And I said, Ash, I'm looking at that Red Heart. And he kind of said, well, you got to make a decision. It's up to you. But, I don't want to make it seem like I'm trying to push you to my card. But he kind of, said his opinion about what he thought. And I went back and Sammy Thunder and Mookie comped the card with me, the Red Heart. And then they left because they were leaving. And I was like, and still hadn't made a decision because Mookie was going to buy another card. And finally, I'm staring at the card. And Rocket Rick comes walking up. And I love Rocket Rick. He was a great guy. Very soft-spoken, great gentleman. And he says to me, it's nice. It's a nice card. And I was like, yeah. And he's just kind of whispering, like kind of softly. Just, what are you thinking? I was like, well, it's between that or Red Heart. And he just kind of talking to me, like nice and gentle about the cards and about the 2 different cards and about collecting and about which cards, And it was just like this moment where I was like, I have to buy this card. And so I bought this card. So thank you to Ash. We made a good deal. And by the way, right after I bought this card, Ash said, do you mind if I buy that Red Heart from that guy? So he bought the Red Heart like 19 seconds after. And I was like, no, I can't get them both anyway. Don't worry about it, bro. You can do whatever you want. He said, I want to be like, I said, no, I can't buy them both. So he went and bought the Red Heart right after I picked up this card from him. So I guess my money bought this and the Red Heart. Oh. My 1934. Lou Gehrig. Lou Gehrig says, in a 1.5, if you care for things, it is beautiful. It's got the honest corners from Mike Petty. Those corners are honest. All the way around. It's clean on the front. It's beautiful. It's got a tiny bit of paper loss here, right on the edge. How could that bother you in a card like this? I've wanted a Lou Gehrig says Lou Gehrig card my entire life. The back is intact and beautiful. There you go. My big pickup, the most money I ever spent on a baseball card. And I am not complaining, ladies and gentlemen. It is rounded, but it's got great color. It's not bleach white on the edges because it's natural. And it's exactly the kind of baseball card you want to buy. I was looking at this card. I didn't even think about it, but with Greg from Midlife walked over. Same day as Dan on Saturday, I think. And he just kind of looked at it, and I said, what do you think of that card? And he looked at it. He said, that's exactly the kind of card I would buy. Good advice. So I ask a lot of guys. It was a great event. It was, buying that card was kind of a weird experience. I was staring at it, and I felt like it was talking to me, telling me, Lou Gehrig was saying buy me. Lou Gehrig was telling me to buy him for 2 days, and I was still hunting for that Mickey. And at the end of the day, that was the card for me. That was the card I was supposed to buy at Strongsville. Multiple people kind of whispered in my ear about that card when I was staring at it. And it all kind of came together. Me and Ash made a good deal. And we got the card. So that was Strongsville, guys. That's a long one, 36 minutes. But I wanted to do it in one because I couldn't do it last night because we had a little issue in the basement. So I had to do it today. But I didn't want to push it any longer because it is Monday and Strongsville was yesterday. It was an amazing time. If I met you, leave a comment. I'm surrounded with giant stacks of cards. I feel like I basically went to the National. It was that kind of card show. I bought that kind of stuff. If you haven't gone, you should go. It's a great time. Rooms are cheap. Food is cheap. It's Cleveland. Although gas was more expensive in Cleveland than it was in New York. It's kind of weird. But it was an amazing time. The community is great. Trade night was amazing. I chewed the gum. 88 tops. I did it. Shout out to Mookie. Film me chewing the gum. And it was just a great time. If I forgot to mention you, I apologize. But Steven with PH was amazing. Vintage Dave T. Ruben Schneider. You haven't hung out with anybody unless you had an hour-long conversation with Ruben Schneider. Let me tell you that. He's a great dude. Great guy. And I appreciate all of you. Have a good one.